Cheers, my thrifting friends. Okay, it is bright and early on my day off, and I just donated a bunch of stuff to SAVERS, so they gave me a 20% off coupon. If you guys watch my videos, you know that we're gonna do too many things at a time here. Okay, we just transitioned the store over to Christmas, so we did have a pile of stuff that I wanted to donate, so that's what I donated to get the coupon. So, but yeah, it's time to restock. So let's get inside and see what they have. Hope I find some really pretty glass, some modern things. I'd love to find some Christmas linens, like a tablecloth, something like that. But anyway, I'm super excited. So let's go in and see what they have. So I hardly ever walk in and right away see something so beautiful and unusual. These were very unusual. They were $6.99. I really debated on these, but when I looked them up, they didn't have a lot of resale value. I just wasn't sure. I think if I had a dedicated antique vintage booth situation, I definitely would have picked these up. But because I have a modern consignment store, I just didn't think my customers it would have a lot of appeal. So I did end up leaving them. These framed dancer pieces were really pretty. Again, I didn't see my customer base as appreciating them. I appreciated them. I thought they were so lovely, but I did leave them. They were $7.99 each, which was kind of high for resale because the subject matter was so specific. So I did leave those, but they were very well stocked for their artwork. I did still end up picking up two really nice pieces that you'll see in the haul. But in the meantime, I am definitely enjoying browsing the artwork. They had a big variety. They had some older pieces. They had modern pieces. I, obviously look for both. I definitely do not pick up anything that has like writing on it. I don't do photography either. I do try to find original artwork. This did look original, but it was not in good condition. It was definitely faded, a little bit older, but the quality was there, and it definitely was a watercolor, but also the subject matter was not in season. So summer is long gone here in New England. Here's another summer print. It was brand new. It had the cardboard tabs still on the corners. So I'm not trying to pick up pieces though that are not in season. I do not have a lot of storage at my store, and I don't want to have the whole, when you have to purchase storage. I don't want to do that. This was really pretty with the strawberries. Very interesting. So made in USA. It's definitely got some age to it. I did consider that piece, but I ended up leaving it. This was interesting. Very interesting. They had it. I would thought that they would have had this in their fabric section, but they did have it in their artwork section. So I did my best to try to roll it back up the way they had it displayed. And they had some unframed art as well. I've seen a lot of that lately. Ooh, this clipper ship or sail ship, I should say, is pretty nice. This sailboat piece of art. It was $4.99. That's not a bad price for that. I didn't care for that metal strip though, and the back of it wasn't in the best condition. The metal strip, it was not in the best condition. I didn't care for that. So that's why I left that one there. But yeah, these prints were really pretty. I think they were actually watercolors. Yeah, and I'm not sure if they were a lithograph or an actual watercolor. I couldn't tell. I didn't take too much time to try to discern that, but yeah, they were looking like, I think they were lithographs. I don't think they were the actual watercolor, but again, I never have any luck selling things like this that are wrapped in cellophane, ready for framing. I just never do. So I always leave stuff like that. This sailboat, I really debated. Well, actually, this fall piece, I first debated, but it's too far into the season. It's the end of that. So I did leave that, and it wasn't cheap enough. This had appeal to it. I really thought about this. I ended up putting it back, but I definitely carried it around for a little bit. made in USA. It definitely has age on it. It was a good price for what it was, but I don't know. I debated it. I really debated it. But at the end of the day, I definitely left it. But I carried it around with me for a little bit. These Christmas plates are kind of perfect. They're exactly what I'm looking for. Made in England. I have an eye for that. I'm telling you, they have just the right vintage appeal to them. And I'm looking for a smaller plate to put on top of my milk glass plates. So I plan on doing my tablescape for Christmas in my milk glass, but I'm looking for some vintage Christmas things to add to it, and those were perfect. So I definitely took those. This was also so very beautiful, instantly caught my eye, instantly swooned over this, but unfortunately it was all they had. Of course, it's Johnson Brothers. I can pick this stuff out a mile away. I knew it was Johnson Brothers, but this was all they had. They had no other pieces, so it just wasn't going to happen. I would need that to be the whole dish set for me to even consider it. Okay, this has a funny little story. So the name of this plate pattern is literally my name, Diane. And my husband had these plates in his apartment. This was what he ate on every single day. And when he invited me over to his house for the first time, he cooked me this lovely Polish dinner. And he had me I was in love with the plates. I'm like, oh, these are so beautiful. So he's like, oh, turn them over, look to see what they are. And when I saw my name on them, he's like, yep, that's how I know that you're for me. My plates have the same name as you. You're for me. Isn't that amazing? What a sweet little story. All right. I recognize this stuff. It's $10.99 for, I think it was 5 of them, and they have different patterns. I think this is, I want to say Francoma. Not 100% sure, but I'll look it up. I'll put on the screen whatever I find. But I know they're definitely authentic mid-century modern pottery plates, and they're really nice. They had a lot of this pattern too. I think this is the Homer Laughlin, made in USA. So they had 6 of them here for $12.99, and I think they had another stack of them farther down the row. So somebody had donated quite a few of that same pattern. Now here is the full plate of the exact same thing. So it's called poinsettia. It's made in England. It was 4 of them for $9.99. So these were the 4 that went with the small plate. Now it may seem foolish that I left these behind, but I really just want my milk glass. I don't really want a lot of Christmas dishes. I just need the 4 smaller plates, and that's going to work for me. So I did leave those behind. Now these are very elegant. This is the Mikasa. It's probably from the 1990s. I think that Mikasa, these 1990s patterns are going to come back and come into their own. So if I'm not going to buy just a stack of plates from this, but if there was a full set of this Mikasa, I would totally pick it up. I think it's definitely going to make a comeback, and I think it's really elegant. All right, so I'm looking at this here, and I ended up picking up, that's a mass-produced one, but the other one looked like a pottery piece. I was like, yeah, let me see that. Let me grab that. You can see that it has somebody's name on it, and I didn't even realize that, and I grabbed it. So you'll see me act all surprised in the haul. All right, this is very cottagecore. I love this, but not for me. And the apple thing is kind of over. But if you are trying to build a cottagecore look in your kitchen, collecting these little jars is the way to go. And here's the matching pie plate. You can really make that vintage kitchen come together. It doesn't even have to be cottagecore. It's just vintage. It's a very 1950s look. It's very, very, very cool. And there's the pie plate you need to make all that work. Okay, this was a real heartbreaker. I carried this around with me for a little while too, because I wanted to look it up. But unfortunately, it had a crack in it. You can see right here, see right there, right in the middle of the other side. Yeah, it had a crack in it. So sad. This was so cool. I love this kind of stuff. I mean, it's made in China. It's not vintage, but it's so artistic and unusual and cool, and I love the color of it. I had a coupon, so I just justified it in my head that this was cool enough that someone's going to really want it, so I grabbed it. So I'm always on the hunt for, farmhouse or primitive type stuff, especially Christmas stuff, but I did not really find any on this thrift trip, but I have an awful lot in my store right now. If you watch my previous video, you could see I decked my store out for Christmas. We had a ton of amazing decor donations, plus my own collection that I source throughout the year. Oops. I don't want to break anything. But this would have been a cool piece to pick up. I really wanted to, but at $4.49, it was too much. So I left that behind. But this piece of pottery is amazing. This is definitely the type of pottery I sell quite a bit of. Interesting back stamp. It was not engraved in there. It was like handwritten on after the fact. Ooh, milk glass. Wait a second. I'm distracted. Milk glass. Love it. $4.49. That's a great price for this. Oh, it's so beautiful. It was so heavy too. Really, really heavy. And then it has a little sister. She wasn't as heavy, but she's just as pretty. So yeah, I, needless to say, grabbed both of these beauties and put these in my cart. I love them. I love milk glass. I can't get enough of it. All right, looking for some modern decor. These were $4.49. I think the Grain House is a Target brand, but I'm not 100% sure. But I left them. That's what I would sell them for in my store. Not much more than that. So I left them for somebody who really needs those things in their own house for decor. This chicken was so cool. Oh, I love this pottery chicken. But he was $8.99. Yeah, and he had a little chip on the side there. So we left him. We definitely left him. This was interesting. I think it was like an olive serving pottery dish. And this glass piece was very pretty. And this Christmas piece really caught my eye. I was really hoping it was Lenox. It was $9.99. I thought that was kind of high. And it was not Lenox. So I left it. I'm only going to pay that if it was Lenox. Yeah. These two pieces were also interesting, but yeah, they were a little too high for reselling. This one was vintage probably, I'm sure. And I think this glass piece though was modern, and I don't have good luck with modern glass, especially in this colorway. So yeah, anything yellow or orange, I don't really do well with. So I did leave those, but they were cool to see. Now, these two vases, I really debated. I love Laura Ashley. I love all her stuff. Now, it didn't bother me that they were FTD. Didn't bother me, although it does mean they were lower quality. They for sure were not the best quality. But what kept getting me was that there was two of them and they were matching. So I kept thinking about tablescapes or mantle decor. I love symmetry. I love two of the same thing to decorate with. So I really debated, but at $6.49, it would have been $13 for the both of them. And even with my coupon, I just didn't love them. The quality wasn't there. If they were super high quality, I would not have hesitated, but because they did feel pretty light and they were FTD pieces, I did leave them. But I do love that Laura Ashley design. Yeah, I went back and stared at them. That's really my jam right there, but just not the right quality. So I did leave it. All right, we're going to check out the bags. And this was a really primitive styled, really cute salt and pepper. I do love the willow tree and the star. I love that. The colorway, those were cool. This was another bag that had a lot of kind of primitive things in it. Very pretty. I did leave those, but I totally admired them for what they were. This was kind of a seashore themed bag. These are buoys. Very, very cool. I did leave it though, but it was fun to look at. I was hoping to find some vintage Christmas stuff. Those were cool in the bags, but I did not luck out. These were Christmas tree shops, little trinket boxes from the Christmas tree shop. Look at, originally they were $1.29. Oh my God, we missed the Christmas tree shops so much. I think Hobby Lobby put them out of business. I think that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I don't know what happened because they were great. And I know we used to go all the time, but they were always busy when we went too. So who knows what happened, but these are like, the bird is what caught my eye, but there wasn't enough other good pieces in there for me to consider it. So I left it. But some cute animals in there. All right, let's head over to the linens, our last stop before we go. And let's see if we can find anything here. Wow, $5.99. That's kind of a lot for 4 pieces, that's what I would sell it for. So, geez, sometimes I think they really overprice their linens. I don't know why, but I noticed that with Savers. It's almost like every single thrift store has its good points and its bad points, if you will. And for Savers, I feel they have a good selection of linens. Like this was really sweet. There was only 2 of them, but they wanted $5 for the 2 pieces. I mean, that's kind of a lot. That's not a big discount off of something on sale, brand new. So, yeah, I don't often get a lot of linens at Savers because I do feel they're overpriced, especially the pillows. If you look at pillow prices at Savers, it's insane. Their pillows are like $12 to $20, insane. So I very rarely get pillows, but this I think I'm going to grab. This is like a hot pad and it's got like cloves inside. I really like that. So I think I'm going to grab that. Yeah, here's an example of the pillow. I mean, this was like a beautiful needlepoint pillow and it's a summer pattern. It's got seashells on it. That's like a starfish and a nautilus shell. So these are shells, but they're like in like a Christmas, maybe holly thing, just beautiful. But $12.99, I just think that's really overpriced. I don't know. For a pillow that's used, you don't know where that's been. You got to wash it, all the things. As much as I love that, I'd rather buy it brand new. All right, we are done shopping. So let's get this cart home and show you guys my haul. Hi, you guys. I am back. A long time no see. Oh, just a few days. I missed my upload that I normally do, but the reason was that my dad had to have some surgery. All is well. He is home. He had to have some day surgery, so I was with my mother and father on Friday of this past week, and we were at the hospital all day, but all is well. He had all right, so for all you medical people out there, I'm sure I'm going to say a lot of stuff wrong. I'm not medical. He had like some bone spurs on one of his vertebrae and it was compressing a nerve and it was causing him to have numbness and really bad pain down one of his legs. So not just a sciatica, but an actual bone spur compression. So I guess he had a neurologist who was amazing, a really, really wonderful doctor. And I guess they ream off the bone spur or whatever. So anyway, he's totally fine. He's home now. He did amazing. And I'm super excited for him to get his mobility back. He is 85, but he's still really strong. He cuts wood. He does all the things. I've shown my parents' property to you guys many times. They have a beautiful little farm and he does all the things. He was even chopping wood right up to the day before and it was just too painful for him. So he's super excited to start some physical therapy, get his strength back. He doesn't want to lose any of his muscle strength. So he's got the right mindset and he had a wonderful support system of his girlies with him, me and my mom. And my sister stayed at home. It was easier for me to close my store for the day and just spend the day with them. And my sister works in like a really high pressure software engineering type position. So she lives with them. So she has all her work cut out for her anyway to take care of my dad. She loves doing physical therapy with him and keeping him with his breathing. She does like breathing exercises. Anyway, TMI, but I just wanted to tell you why I wasn't able to upload. Usually I do twice a week, but I just wasn't able to do it obviously because I was focused on my family but I am back. All right. I was at Savers last week. So you guys have already seen me picking that footage, that's the footage. And I got a bunch of stuff here. I'm super excited to show you. So let's get right into it. All right, I'm going to start off with the only piece of Christmas that I was able to pick up. I'm very, very, very selective on my Christmas. I've actually whittled down my decor to just 2 totes, and I'm trying to keep it that way. And I want it to be all vintage, all super nostalgic, but opulent. I really like a Victorian look, an opulent look. So this was the only piece that I could find that sort of ticked all those boxes. It was, what was it? $3.49, which is a really good deal for Savers. I did have a 20% off coupon. As I've told you guys, I'm part of their Super Savers program, and they love bomb me with emails all the time, every week with coupons. So I've been hitting up Savers a lot. I'm going to hit up the one in Manchester, Connecticut really soon. I'd like to go with John. You know, I don't like doing a big day trip without him. It's about an hour from here. So I think we might go down to the Savers in Manchester together, maybe even tomorrow. Today is Sunday as I'm filming this, but I really love this. What do you guys think? It's this really pretty Victorian looking sleigh. I'm definitely using it on my mantle. I'll show you how I style that. And so I cannot wait to put that out for Christmas. That was the only Christmassy thing I got. But I did pick up a few pieces of milk glass that I am in love with. You guys, I cannot get enough milk glass. I'm sure you saw me pick this in the footage. I'm in love with it. A very specific kind. You know, I like it to be like elegant. And I find myself really drawn to the Westmoreland pieces. So I believe that this might be one of those. If I find anything, I'll leave it right there. I don't want to cover up my little girly over here. Look at her with her little paw. Oh, Mina, you're a sweetheart. I love her so much. I should move the camera a little bit so you guys can see her sitting there. She's so cute. Anyway, so I found two vases, couldn't choose between the two, so I didn't, because one was only $4.49. And look at the base. I love how elegant the base is. It's like got this little fluted, you know, I just love that elegant look, and it's kind of ribbed, you know, along the body of the vase, and then the top of it has got a scalloped edge. Super beautiful. Love this. Love, love, love. And I also picked up this gorgeous thing. Oh, I love this. This was $4.49. Love it. Again, I love the bead on the bottom of it. I'm pretty sure this is a Westmoreland piece, although I'm not 100% sure. I'll leave whatever I find right there. But I love the swirled body of it. Super elegant. And the beads, again, on the top. Yeah, that's a really beautiful piece of milk glass. Very elegant. I love the look of milk glass with either really deep red roses in them or really deep pink roses in them, or maybe a big bouquet of peonies, any color, multiple color peonies. I'm sure a lot of you love that look too. It's floral, it's lush, and I just love putting all that in milk glass. You guys, I also found a piece that I have been looking for such a long time, at least 2 years. And I have found I've always found either the top or the bottom. And if I've found them together, obviously it's been in like an antique mall or something like that. And it's always been priced over $25, which of course, if you really love it, spend the money, buy it. But I've been really trying hard to find one thrifting. And I finally did. I love these nesting chickens. This is so beautiful. And lucky me, it wasn't overpriced. They only wanted $4.49 for this piece as well. So all these milk glass pieces were together. And I could not believe my luck at the pricing. And again, I had a 20% off coupon. So that made it even more exciting to put these in my cart. Oh, wow. I love this. I think it's awesome, and I've been looking for one of these for a really long time, so clearly I am going to keep that. And I lied. I forgot. I did get another vintage Christmas item. So this I plan on putting with my milk glass dishes. That's kind of my vision. I'm going to have these on top of my milk glass dishes and then my 2 milk glass pitchers, and I'm going to put holly in those. I'm pretty sure it's going to come together like that. But I did grab 4 of these. They were $4.99 for all 4. So like $1.25 each. And here's the back stamp on them. Not quite sure who makes these, but that's the back stamp. So I was looking for something, I wanted it to look vintage. It didn't have to be super old, although I don't know how old this is. I will definitely look it up. I thought I had I guess I don't have my magnifying glass with me. I can't see anything. So, but anyway, they looked very vintage. So this looked very nostalgic to me. The way this poinsettia graphic is, doesn't it look like the kind of poinsettia graphic that you would see on like an old vintage Christmas postcard or a Christmas card kind of thing? So that's why I grabbed it. I think it's going to look good with the milk glass. You know what? Let me grab one of my milk glass dishes. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I definitely think this is the look I'm going for. This is definitely, yeah, this is going to look really pretty on my Christmas table. So that's what I'm going for. This milk glass dinnerware with just a touch of Christmas, a top plate that's like got a Christmas feel to it. And then the pictures with all the holly in it, and it'll come together beautiful. I cannot wait to create this tablescape for Christmas, but that's gonna look amazing. But let me put that down. And the next thing I grabbed, I actually didn't know what they were when I grabbed them, but when I looked them up, I was really surprised. I guess Cracker Barrel made a lot of collectibles back in the day. I thought these were Flow Blue. I mean, look how, let me get my, oops, sorry. Let me get my hands out of the way, but yeah, they're not marked on the bottom. They're completely with no maker mark whatsoever. But I found a set of 4 of these. They are absolutely stunning. I love these. And they were $4.49 for all 4. So I thought that was a great deal, but when I found them online, I guess they sell for quite a bit. I had no idea what they were when I grabbed them, and I didn't even care that they didn't have a back stamp. I just cared that they were all this Flow Blue design, which I absolutely love. I mean, it's gorgeous, right? And who wouldn't want that? And I also grabbed this Pottery mug. You guys saw me grab this. Oh, I didn't realize I had the name Jean on it. Darn, I hate it when I do that. Ugh, we all do that, right? I just saw the Pottery and I saw well, yeah, okay, it looked like Studio Pottery, but well, it's a little too personalized. I'll probably just donate this back. Bummer, it was $1.99. Bummer. It's okay. We all make mistakes. I think it's hilarious that I'm like seeing this right when I'm showing you guys this. I'm filming this with you. But hey, we're not going to cut it out. We're going to leave it in. We all make mistakes. I don't know. We all miss things. I missed that it had a name on it. So if any of you ladies out there, your name is Jean and you like this mug, I'd be happy to just mail it to you. All right, I did find some really cool artwork. They had a ton of artwork out that you can see in the clips. This is amazing. This was also $5.99, and it's this really totally groovy kind of elf on top of some mushrooms. It's a very thick pottery kind of plaque. I think you would call this like a big stoneware kind of plaque. It's definitely meant to be hung up on the wall. It's got the wire in it, but what? This is cool. I mean, it's not my style, but it's a groovy style. I think I'm going to sell this right away. It's a very woodland cottagecore. If you're into fairycore, cottagecore, you need this in your life. This elf on a mushroom. Very cool. Absolutely loved it. I know that that's probably going to sell very quickly, and I really loved it. And then something a little more subdued, traditional. This was only $3.99. You can see it right there. And again, I kind of broke my rule for frameless art, but that's okay. It's for sale in my store. It's not for me, which is really funny. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It looks like a toll work, kind of like a theorem toll, but it's all just, you know, on a print on canvas. But the back of it, it still had the tag on it. Looks like this must have been donated from some kind of booth. And it looks like they wanted like $39 for it. Here, let me put it the right way. So that's the tag from the booth, I assume, antique booth or antique market. It says on it, 80s print, 80s something print, $39. I can see why they can sell it for $39. I don't think this is from the 1980s. I think this is a little more modern than that. And, you know, it's nice, but it's not $39 nice. So yeah, I paid $3.99 for it. Obviously, I'm going to sell this for under $10 in my store. And it's a lovely piece. I can totally see this with like like in a hallway or near a hutch, like maybe kind of like a hallway going into a kitchen, something like that. Something like near a hutch, something like that. You know, I can see it displayed in an area where there's a lot of other like darker wood items, doilies, things like that. I think it's really pretty. I really love it. I think it's very country and very sweet. So yeah, we grabbed those two pieces of art. Love them. And I also wanted to show you this piece of cranberry glass that I got. I paid $3 for it, $3.39, and I think it's worth a lot more. I'll put right here whatever I find online. But I think it's a beautiful piece. I love maybe through the window you can see a reflection of all the, I assume it's pressed glass, but it's very pretty. And I love the way the handle is on it. Very pretty, very nicely done. So yeah, I picked up this beautiful piece of cranberry glass. I wish I had a lot more. My dream Christmas decor would just be a nice collection of cranberry glass, similar to the beautiful collection of amber glass that I have, but I'll start looking hard for that. I have actually for years looked for lots of pieces of cranberry glass. I've never been able to find really big platters or big, beautiful things. Thrifting. Again, these are readily available in antique malls, online. Of course, if you want a beautiful collection and you have the budget to invest in it, you should. But you know me, I'm always trying to find it thrifting. So my eyes are peeled for cranberry glass. I don't think I'll find too many more pieces before Christmas, but you never know. I did pick up a couple of pieces of like porcelain and pottery. So I grabbed this dish. You guys saw me grab this in the footage. It is signed. It's an unusual signature. It's a signature that's written in like a marker, as opposed to usually a signature is like etched into the clay at the time that it is handcrafted. But this is kind of looks like a marker after the fact, but that's okay. We're going to look it up. We're going to see what it is. If I find anything, I'll put it right there. But yeah, I thought this was really beautiful. Love the greenish color. Love I assume this is like a blueberry type of theme. This is a very popular type of pottery theme. I sell a lot of this in my store. In general, I sell a lot of pottery in my store, but yeah. So I grabbed this. I paid $4.99, but I had my 20% off coupon. Paid a little up for this, more than I would like to, but with the 20% off, we'll be okay. I know I can still do well with it. And then of course, I couldn't leave this behind. You guys saw this in the footage. I paid way too much for this. I'm debating possibly keeping it because it is so whimsical. I paid $9.99. I did a 20% off, but it is such a whimsical piece. Tell me this is not the most whimsical fish vase. I mean, it's obviously supposed to be a vase. It sits on your wherever you have it, kind of like that. It's so cool. I really love this. This has got so much personality. It's so whimsical. I can see why I like it so much because I love unusual, artistic, whimsical things. But yeah, maybe I'll sell it. I'm probably going to try to sell it first, but I had to have it, caught my eye, and I'm hoping somebody else might feel the same way about it. Just have to have it in their house. I love the color, love this sage green. This is a great color that is super neutral, mixes with a lot of stuff. And then the last piece of home goods that I picked up, pottery-wise, were these two cruets. One of them says rosemary on it, and the other one says basil. And I think this would be better, even though I did get another miniature oil. I'm going to use that probably for sesame oil. I thrifted a miniature oil cruet that's got the actual metal spout on it, like I think the last video. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to use that for my sesame oil because I do use sesame oil when we're making stir fries. And I think for the actual flavored oils that John and I made, the infused oils, I think that these two cruets are going to be perfect because one of them is actually rosemary oil. We did rosemary with garlic flakes. So that would be perfect for this. And then this basil one, we actually did thyme and pepper, but I still think this would be amazing for that. So I'm going to wash these really good. I paid $3.99 each, had 20% off. And I think these are going to be super charming and just lovely to have in the kitchen, each one filled with a homemade infused oil. I think that'll be beautiful. They're going to look really lovely in the kitchen, and I can't wait to wash them and fill them up with our yummy, delicious infused oils. I don't usually grab clothing when I'm out too much, but I did pick up 2 pieces and I'm going to show you those. But I also in the linen section grabbed these 2 pieces. So this is like a hot pad. It's got spices in it. Yeah, I can smell it. It's got like cloves in it, which is awesome. I paid $2.49, and here is the back stamp for it. But it's this beautiful hydrangea, like, I think it's like a hot pad. You know, it's not a pot holder. It's meant for you to sit something like a hot pan on top of it. So I grabbed that. And this is also a pot holder. This was $1.49. And I liked it because, well, obviously it's floral and pretty and totally my style, but it's the kind where you put your hand inside. So because we have like a toaster oven style air fryer, this is really handy. I also have like a countertops oven too. And this is exactly what I need to take the trays out when I'm either taking something out of the air fryer or taking something out of the toaster oven. So I grabbed these 2. And then the clothes I grabbed this. It's like a kimono, or like I want to say a kimono type sweater. It's like a long sleeve kind of kimono, but I just loved the colors. I thought that this red and the design on it would be really cool for like Christmas time, fall, or not really fall, but like Christmas, like winter Christmas. I can picture myself wearing this with like a wine colored blouse underneath it. So it's just like an oversized kimono. You know, it's not a expensive brand. It was probably like a Shein or Temu type thing, as most clothes is today, right? Crazy. But this, I paid $5 for that. This I overpaid. I paid $11.49 for this, but I figured it is a jacket, and because the other piece was so inexpensive, this is so cool. It's this hooded like overcoat jacket, and look at the artwork on it. I had to have it in the buttons because it had this really unusual artwork on it. These appliques, they're just these flowers that are like appliqued on the pocket and on the side. I just thought that it would be like a really cool artistic piece. I don't know. I just really loved it. Had to have it. I grabbed it. You'll probably see me wearing this in a video soon as I walk into one of the thrift stores, all bundled up in this really artistic, cool jacket with all the little floral appliques on it. Actually, I just love that artistic look. So yeah, that's all I grabbed for fabrics. Hi, you guys. All right, well, welcome back to my kitchen. Oh boy, Miss Mina's thinking she's gonna get a snack. All right, I wanted to show you guys really quick before John's at work, but he's gonna be home in a little while. So we're gonna have some pork loin steaks tonight, and we're gonna try our sauerkraut. So if you guys have been following us, we fermented some sauerkraut about 2-3 weeks ago, and we think it's ready. So what goes better with sauerkraut than pork and egg noodles? So what I want to show you here is how to make egg noodles from scratch. Now, I know that sounds extra. I promise you it's not. And let me just hear me out for a quick second. It does seem like it's more work, but it's not. And I think it's about time. It's a little more effort on your part, but I think it's the same amount of time, because when you make fresh egg noodles, they cook super fast. And so instead of waiting for processed egg noodles to cook, yeah, it's about the same time. So it's just what you're doing with that time. So I understand the convenience of egg noodles. Of course, I have them too. But once you try homemade and see how easy it is, you're going to be like, I want homemade every single time. So let me show you what I've got going on here and how we're going to do it. All right, so this is a really easy recipe. You just need 2 eggs. You need some salt. You need some milk. So that's what I have in one of these little... So this is like a vintage, I thrifted this with you guys. And then you need about 2 cups of flour. And yeah, I have a vintage flour sifter. I like the kind that you actually turn the knob with. I've had the kind where it has the squeeze spring, but it feels like it takes me longer. I feel like it sifts a lot faster if you have one of these old-fashioned ones, like with the handle. And then I've got a beautiful Polish pottery bowl. Here I am supposed to be showing you cooking, but I'm showing you stuff. Don't you love it? All right. It's a really easy recipe. I will link the recipe below, but honestly, this is all you need to get started. And I am going to, if I'm doing like a pastry pie type dough, I roll it directly onto my cold granite. So, you know, that's actually the best surface to roll a dough is your granite. But I am going to use I do have a marble rolling pin. I did thrift this. It is beautiful. It weighs a ton. And if you are into baking or pastry making, you really should invest or try to find one thrifting of a pure marble rolling pin. It's unbelievable how good it is. And then I am going to use a dough mat because I'm going to be cutting. So when I'm making like a pie or something, I'm not cutting. But if I'm going to be making cookies or pasta or egg noodles, I'm going to be cutting. So obviously I don't want the dough to be right on my granite countertops because I'm obviously not going to cut on my countertop. So, all right, that's all you need. So let's get started. All right, so let's make the dough first. So the first thing you're going to do is take 2 cups of flour. You guys would love this. It's a vintage Pfaltzgraft scooper. I found these as a set in the flea market next to my store. It was hilarious. I was like, oh, I have to have these. So it says like 2 cups flour. So this is all-purpose flour. I have all-purpose flour. I have rye flour, wheat flour. It's because I make my own bread. So I do have a lot of flours. Now I do make my own pasta, and for that you need 00 flour, which I also do have. But yeah, so we're going to sift this into the bowl. See how fast it goes when you have the handle one? It's over like that. It's super fast. All right, so for the eggs, actually, next you're gonna do your salt. So I have this like wooden little scoop thing. I absolutely love it. So you're gonna use some salt. All right, then for the 2 eggs, you're actually gonna do 1 egg yolk and then 1 full egg. So I like to just make a well in the center. And then crack 1 full egg. And then 1 is gonna be just the yolk. So that's just the yolk. That goes in the center. Okay, and then I just start doing everything with my hands, and then I add the milk as I need it. So I'll put a little to start, and then just do it with your hands. I'm telling you, once you have egg noodles and pasta done by hand from homemade, yeah, the carton stuff is it's okay, but fresh is amazing. So you just want to keep doing this until a dough comes together. Now it's going to get really sticky as you're working it, which is fine. Bit more flour, just a little bit, just so I can get it off my hands. All right, so we have a dough. So let me get this all off my hands and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like just as a dough. So I have it all out of the bowl. So now you're going to want to take some flour and get that down on your thing. Let me put this aside. All right, I didn't get this all off my hands. I should have taken my rings off too. Oh well, that's okay. I always forget to do that. But yeah, so now you're going to want to knead this. And to knead it, you just keep folding it on itself. That's all you do. Just keep folding it on itself. Make sure you keep your board or your sheet well floured. Yeah. See how I'm just doing it like that? It doesn't take long. You don't have to knead it very long at all. just a little bit, just like that, till it's like smooth. And you'll feel it. It just starts to feel like extremely smooth. So we're almost there. It doesn't take long. There you go. Just like that. So I like to just, you can roll it out right away if you want, but I like to just leave it here just for a couple of minutes because it allows the flour and the egg and the milk to just kind of get used to each other, you know, just to like rest. So I'll just leave it like this. I'm going to wash my hands. I am going to cover it though. I have a very clean little towel right here. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Let it rest a minute. I'm going to clean up and then we're going to roll it out. All right, so I'm all cleaned up and my dough has been resting. So you're going to want to cut out your dough. You can do it with just like a straight knife. It's totally cool. But I like to use a pizza cutter because it just goes really quick. And yeah, so I use a pizza cutter. And like I already said, I have a very heavy, this is like a granite stone marble rolling pin. I use this all the time. It's one of my prized possessions because I make pasta, egg noodles, all kinds of stuff. But it's heavy. It's not for everybody, but I love it. It makes a big difference, especially when you're using butter doughs because it's so cold. Like it's really cold. Oh yeah, that's cold. And it keeps the butter, you know, nice and cool. Keeps the dough from getting too soft or tough. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna roll this out and then we're just gonna leave the noodles. I'll have a pan of water ready and when John comes home, we'll cook the noodles, make the pork and then open up the sauerkraut with you guys and hope it looks good, hope it tastes good. So yeah, let's roll these out and get them cut. So my dough is all rolled out. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that. Super easy. I'll show you a close-up of how thick it is and everything like that. So I'm just going to cut it and I'm actually just going to leave it here covered on this silicone mat. I'm not going to put it on another plate or anything like that. I'm just going to cut it and leave it. And we like our noodles like short and kind of short and thickish, shortish. You'll see how I'm cutting it out. But yeah, I'm going to cut them out now and just leave them here. I'll cover them with a towel and wait for John to get home. right, so that's what your egg noodles are going to look like. That's about the size that we made them. You can see. Yeah, it's so simple, you guys. I know that like it feels like it's taking a little bit longer because I keep, you know, changing shots and stuff like that. But honestly, start to finish, this takes me less than 5 minutes, and then it'll cook very quickly. I'm going to say they take about 4 to 5 minutes to cook, and the difference in the taste. And you know what? You're doing it for yourself. I think homemade food is like a form of self-care. I mean, John and I do things for each other like this. Like, yeah, he's going to so enjoy having homemade noodles instead of box noodles with our pork. And I'm going to really enjoy however he's going to cook the pork. And yeah, it's a lovely thing. You know, cooking really is like a love language, and it's definitely John and I's love language. And try making these egg noodles for yourself. I'm going to leave the recipe. I don't even need to link it. It's so simple. I'm just going to write it and give it a try. It'll be a lovely thing to do, just to have something. It feels special. You know, it feels special. It's homemade. It's really nice. But anyway, so I'm going to cover these with a towel. I'm just going to leave them here until John gets home. So when you cover them with a towel, try to use something linen so that it doesn't, I don't know, just like get lint on it or something like that. So I have this linen towel right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover these. And when John gets home, we will go ahead and boil them. I'm probably going to use one of my fancy, I don't know if this one's big enough to use. I think it is. I think this one is. Get my towel off of here. Yeah, we can definitely cook up the egg noodles in here for sure. This is big enough. So yeah, we're gonna cook those up when John gets home. All right, John just got home from work and he brought up one of the sauerkraut jars from, we had it fermenting in our downstairs bathroom. And all right, this is the moment of truth. How'd it do, John?
It did pretty good. I mean, if anyone saw that first video, we had just put a loose plastic cap on here, which is fine, but we had ordered the fermentation caps. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to endorse any particular brand or anything like that. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
They're just a cap you can put on to seal the air from getting in, and they have an opening so that the gas can get out. And if you want your stuff to come out the best, you're going to want to get something like that for a couple of bucks. This isn't actually fully fermented into sauerkraut yet. No. But we're hungry.
Yeah. And we got pork steaks and we've got noodles. What do you think, babe? How do you think?
They look great.
They look great. All right. So we're going to boil those. I already have a pan of water. We're going to get that going. But this is what we're going to have it with. Okay. Yeah. So it's mostly fermented. Now, I think it's been down there maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks is what you need. And yeah, so this recipe was cabbage, shredded carrots, and I think we put some seeds in there.
Yeah, probably caraway.
Caraway seeds, and I thought we put another secret ingredient in there. I can't remember. I don't remember. We were hunting around the pantry.
You can see the caraway seeds.
Yeah, you can see the caraway seeds.
But you can see that the cabbage, because it's hand cut, all the small pieces are see-through.
Yep.
Like the sauerkraut you buy in the store.
Yep.
In the bags. It's just only the thicker pieces that haven't completely fermented over.
So let's twirl it and find there. Okay, so he's talking about like this one maybe right here. It's a little thicker because it was hand cut. Maybe this little white one right there. But most of it is translucent. Like the way you guys are used to looking at it in a grocery store. You can buy it like in the refrigeration section in a pouch.
And you can let this go longer. We just chose not to. And this wasn't an accident, if anybody's worried about their sauerkraut.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
One time when I checked on it, a little piece had somehow floated to the top, so I just poured it off and then put the cap back on, and that's it.
Oh, this is on the outside, you guys.
Yeah,
that's what he's talking about.
That's for me pouring a little bit off.
Okay, so because you do have to monitor it. You have to go down there and check to make. So when you go down there, you want to, number one, check that it's actually fermenting, which is kind of evidenced through air, so bubbles or like activity. You can sort of see like a almost like soda-like appearance. It's got like bubbles maybe a little bit.
It doesn't ferment that strong.
It doesn't? Okay, I'm
But,
used to looking at his beer.
Yeah, if you took the jar and just shifted it around like that,
Yeah.
I would see a
Bubbles.
bubble come up.
A bubble. Okay. So anyway, that's what you're looking for. And then, of course, floaters, because if they come to the top, remember we put the cabbage leaf and there's a weight in there too. So you'll see. We'll open the whole thing up. Yeah. All right. So are we going to open it now or are we going to wait for... Okay. So let's open it now. Oh boy. The moment of truth. Okay. Yeah. So the first thing you want to look for is a clean cover.
Sure.
We don't want to say the word mold, but if you see that, it's all over. So
you won't get mold as long as the water level isn't up to the top.
Right.
You want that liquid to be like the 1/4-inch headspace or 1/2-inch headspace that they normally talk about with canning.
Oh, I can smell it. It smells like sauerkraut. It smells amazing.
Yeah.
All right. And then what take the weight? Will we take the weight out now or are we gonna should we do we rinse this before we eat it, right?
It's just like the jar of sauerkraut you buy in the store.
I always rinse sauerkraut in the store because it can be pretty salty.
So what you would do is, unless you're going to use the whole thing, you could grab we would take a pair of tongs and take that weight out and let the leaf under it. And then take out what we're going to have and just rinse what we're going to have and leave the rest in there. All
right. So we're going to do all that when we're ready to eat. So we're going to make our pork cutlets. We're going to prepare those, and then I'm going to boil these egg noodles. I'm keeping them covered until we're ready, and plate it all up, and we'll show you. All right, so we have a little bit of a pork roast left over. We had most of it this weekend, and we're going to I think John's going to do a dry rub and just kind of leave it marinate here until we're ready to cook it. That looks delicious already.
The cheapest way you can buy thick cut pork chops.
Yep, buy a pork loin and cut it yourself. Or was it a pork loin or a pork roast? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter much.
Yeah, just buy a big one and then cut it yourself, and then you can have it the way you like. It's fresh.
Yeah, just dry it with a paper towel. Put a little bit of oil on it, like a pea. And if you can't think of anything to use, just use Harissa.
Nobody knows. I have anybody comment below if you've heard of this. Can you show the spice, baby, so that they can see?
Again, just to cover up the brand.
So that's the spice we're using.
It's a Mediterranean spice blend, and it's developed for essentially high temperature cooking.
You guys, I love this spice. It is literally my favorite spice. And it's kind of hard to explain because it's sweet and savory. I'm not quite sure what's in it. We get it from Amazon because you can't find it in the store.
Well, actually, the funny thing is the first time we found it was in a grocery store in Maine, of all places.
Yep, we bought it in Maine. Right. So we went to Maine 2 years ago for my birthday with my parents. It was before I started this channel because I would have had amazing content if I wasn't on YouTube yet. But they went to get a birthday cake, I think, for me at what was the?
I don't remember.
Okay, so we don't remember the name of the store, but they had it there like it was just ordinary spice. But then we never could find it around here, and now we get it from Amazon because we love it so much.
Yeah, and it's great on the grill or the air fryer.
Yep. I'll link it below, or I'll make sure to note it below, like what it is.
Oh, we showed them. They can decide what brand they want. I will say you can buy it 2 different ways. It's available as a dry powder and as a paste.
A dry powder or a paste.
Right. So we use the dry powder and just put a little bit of oil and put this on it.
Yep.
But if you really like the flavor, you can buy it as a paste and just frost it.
I love that frosted. And it's not like the 5 spice. At first I thought, oh, this is going to be like that 5 spice, that Chinese spice. It's not. It's not at all. It's completely different than that. So, all right. So these are going to be up here just sitting and relaxing while we relax. And then we're going to air fry them. boil the noodles, and we're also going to have some asparagus and the star of the show. Well, no, the second star. Look at that. We got our own homemade sauerkraut, our own egg noodles, some fresh cut pork chops, and the asparagus. So we'll show you what it looks like all plated when we're ready to go. All right, so the way we're going to have the sauerkraut is we're going to have it with some sauteed onions. So we're just doing a little bit of onion here and some oil and butter. I'm going to turn the heat down on that actually. And then we're just going to put the sauerkraut in there, and now I've got my water coming up to a boil for the egg noodles. So almost ready to add the sauerkraut to it. All right, it's time. We have finished frying up our onions. Oh, wow. Ooh.
Okay. I don't want to drop it on the plate.
Yep. So that's the glass weight, and then the
big leaf.
The big leaf that we use to...
You could eat it if you wanted to.
Yep.
I don't want to.
Oh, wow. That's what it looks like in there. Yum, yum.
We packed this jar.
We did.
It's a little dense to try and scoop out.
Now, you can eat it just like this. I guess it would be referred to as raw. Actually, when you eat kimchi, I don't know if you guys have heard of kimchi, but we love kimchi. We might even try to make that too. But when you eat kimchi, it's just like this. It's raw and cold, but it's delicious. And it's not too far removed from this. It's got chili peppers in it and spices and stuff. It's basically fermented cabbage and carrots and stuff. So it's very similar. Ooh, wow, that smells delicious. That really does smell delicious. But back to what I was saying. We're not going to eat this raw, although you totally can. We're going to add it to some sauteed onions that we just did. All right. Okay, now I think that's enough for the two of us. So we're going to rinse this and add it to the pan. So now that this is opened, you're going to want to refrigerate it. You're not going to want to put it back.
Yeah, we just added a little bit more filtered water to it to make sure it's...
And cap it off.
Not dry on top.
And then we're going to refrigerate it. So that's just so you guys know. Don't leave it on the counter after you open it from fermenting. You want to refrigerate it now. All right, so these look just about done. They should all be floating at the top. So I am going to turn off the burner. And I'm going to drain these. John is working on the sauerkraut with the onions. It looks amazing. It smells amazing. Our pork cutlets are done. Our asparagus is done. So dinner is going to be served in just a moment. All right, we just drained these. And it's not a lot. It's literally just enough. And look how beautiful those golden egg noodles look. Can you grab that, babe? Just the last little bit of noodles. Oh, okay, that too. And I'm going to just add some butter. So I have look at my little butter dish. It's a little vintage butter dish. And we've got that one little piece of butter in there. We're going to put it right in there. And you know that this is going to be awesome. You just know it. Okay, I'm not even going to like mix it in too much. I'm just going to I'm going to nestle it right in the center. And then I'm just going to put the cover back on it. The heat's not on. And we're going to let that just sit. Oh, it's going to be good. All right, we are ready to plate up. And this looks amazing. So again, we used like a spice called Harissa on the pork. So there's the pork. And just a little bit of asparagus. Oops, I dropped one.
One for the mouse.
Don't say that. Don't say that. It's that time of year, you guys. Don't say that. Okay. So we got that. And then we've got our beautiful, absolutely gorgeous sauerkraut. And we did saute some onions. You can see all that bits of flavor in there. That looks amazing. Ooh, this looks so good. And our homemade egg butter noodles. Mix that butter up a little bit. There we go. Let's put those right there. Wow. You guys have to do this. You have to make your own egg noodles. try the sauerkraut that we fermented, and what a lovely dinner. That looks amazing. All right, well, that is everything that I have for this vintage haul, this thrift haul, mostly vintage, but thank you so much for understanding about me not doing my video on time. My dad's doing really well. Hopefully you enjoyed watching John and I make homemade egg noodles and have that with our homemade sauerkraut. Hopefully that inspires you to try one of those two things. The egg noodles are super easy. I totally highly recommend that you just make some homemade noodles for yourself. You're gonna taste the difference and be like, why am I not doing this all the time? Why am I buying boxed things like this? The homemade version of it is just wonderful. It's beautiful. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Miss Mina over here, she's been a really good girl waiting for me. She's ready to play ball, so we're gonna go play ball now. And thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It really helps my channel grow. And subscribe if you enjoy my content and you look forward to seeing my videos. Hit the subscribe and the notification, and you'll definitely get a notification every time I upload a video. We'll see you really soon. Happy thrifting until then. All right, you ready to play? You ready? All right, we're gonna go play now.